What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Roots and Wings podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about things that our parents got right and things that our parents got wrong in their marriages, and obviously how we've taken the best, left the rest, and we are right now in the process of obviously creating our dream situation and growing together. So let's start with yours. When it comes to your parents, because obviously, as we know, we're conditioned by our parents. We're conditioned by what we hear, see, smell, taste, and touch as we grow up. It creates our paradigm. It creates our conditioning, and our conditioning tends to repeat itself. Mm-hmm. Not just in relationships. You see this in money. You see this with health and fitness. You see this in all areas of life. But obviously, we're talking about relationship in this particular case. So, if you want a different situation to your parents, you have to become aware of their relationship and how you're programmed, and then be super intentional, which is what we're trying to do every day. It's a growing. Was talking today with me about like growth is like a daily decision that we're constantly working on. But you want to start with your parents. Like how was you programmed, Charlie?
Well, first of all, yesterday we were actually talking about the word paradigm, and we were saying that it's ultimately a collection of habits.
Yeah.
So your paradigm is whatever your habits are and how you act and your default setting, if you like, and what you do day to day. So like you just said, that forms over time through examples. Mm-hmm. So now we have two children, even more so, we want to try and provide the best example that we can. That's all parents want to do. We can't determine our children's lives and whether they're going to be successful, not successful, or what successful even means to them. We just have to give them the best life that we possibly can and provide the best example that we can. So obviously, what's interesting about this topic, certainly for us, is obviously our parents' marriages. That's what we're really talking about.
Yeah. Sit.
Are both very different. Go. So my example was...
this is Lucky, by the way. She's our dog.
She just wants to get involved.
We're recording this from our back garden. Lucky, over here, please. Just relax. Chill.
And yeah, so my upbringing was obviously, loving household. My mum and dad were married. They would have been married 40 years. My dad actually passed away within their 40th year wedding anniversary, but it was equally a very successful marriage, i.e. they were genuinely happy with each other, and we felt that, we saw it, and we had multiple occasions where we had like lovely family holidays. I never saw any arguments, although we've spoken about, obviously we'll talk about your side as well, but you never saw arguments either. So no. That's not necessarily the be all and end all of telling whether it's a good relationship or not. But you get that feeling. You get that feeling whether it was right for them, whether they were genuinely happy, and that's what we grew up with as kids. So I've got two older brothers, and there was one time, and I literally mentioned this to my mum the other day. There was one time, and I was probably maybe like, I don't know, 6, 7. And yes, okay, my mum and dad had disagreements, but there was one time where I remember going to my brothers, like, are mum and dad going to get a divorce? Because they both they had obviously this disagreement in the house. One stormed outside, one obviously stormed upstairs, and I'd never seen that happen before. So I sort of freaked out, bearing in mind, obviously, I was really young. But that was one time in my whole life. And that was all it was. It was just a disagreement where they didn't agree. But what I then saw, which I think is also a really good point to make, is that it's actually important for your children to see you have these disagreements and then how you come back from it and how you resolve them. Because both sides are quite tricky to show. Like, if you are constantly seeing arguments after arguments, then that's not good either, because that's a toxic situation to be in and not good for children to be around. But on the flip side, if you're only seeing happy, it's almost like, okay, if two people are in a confined space, i.e. living in your house for a period of time, there are going to be conflicts. Like, you're not going to agree on everything 100% of the time. That's not life. So in knowing that, how do you then actually, when things like that happen, how do you navigate it? How do you reapproach somebody if you've had a disagreement? How do you, if you're riled up, what are the ways that you can manage that, so then you can then come back and actually have a productive conversation?
Yeah, I think it's important to like understand that you can have a full-on disagreement without having any disrespect happen.
Exactly, yeah.
So we have disagreements, but we never disrespect each other in front of the kids.
Yeah.
So whatever, ever, right? Good point. But obviously we're talking about in front of the kids right now, because I think it's true. Like, you not arguing or disagreeing in front of the children completely also sets them up for failure, and you always doing it sets them up for failure. So I do think you have to be intentional with it. Like, there are some times where me and you go, do you know what, let's just have this disagreement right now. And there are other times where we just take ourselves off separately, because I think you can't like wrap them up in this protective wool, because I've seen that the negatives of that as well. Do you know what I mean? So that is definitely important.
Yeah. Well, what was your side then? What did you see growing up?
My side was like, my parents are amazing people. Like, my mum is an amazing lady. Like, she's such a good mum, like an amazing mum. She'll do anything for me. Like, I can count on her. I can rely on her. I know she's there for me, and that's all you want from a mum, right? Like, she gives me that security. And then my dad the same. I know my dad he'll do anything for me. A great dad, a great leader, amazing parents. Obviously, again, unfortunately, both of them. So think about your parents. They were programmed, you see. And that's what I got a lot of respect for your dad, because I understand your dad got programmed and he had to rewrite the program and become the person he was. But, you know, my parents, on my dad's side, wasn't a great example. I think I've met my quote unquote nan, if we can call her that, twice in my entire life. She was very absent from the family. And then on my mum's side, they've had their issues as well. And so that contributes on how they're programmed, because your parents are always going to do your best. You know, that's all we do. I think all humans really just do their best. And then obviously that led to us, like, so for me, again, I didn't really see arguments. I remember seeing disagreements and stuff, but I never really seen any disrespect or arguments or anything like that. My dad's a very placid kind of guy anyway. Me and my sister still to this day have never had an argument. Chilled,
I'd say, rather than placid.
Yeah, chilled. Okay, I don't really know what the word placid means, actually. I just threw that out there. I think I meant passive.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's chill.
Yeah,
relax.
Chill. Yeah. And yeah, me and my sister, we never really, because my sister's very much like my dad, so like I understand kind of maybe how my mum felt. You know, maybe sometimes you need that, like, that, you know,
fire.
Give me your opinion back sort of thing. But like, yeah, so me and my sister were like, she's my best friend. Like, you know, again, she's always there for me. We never really had any issues. And then the other one day, we just got called. Was playing out with our friends. Got called in, and mum was sat over there, dad was sat over here, and they said that they're getting divorced. And it came out of nowhere.
When you say it came out of nowhere, what do you mean?
Well, we didn't know that they were even considering it. It was a complete shock.
Right.
Yeah, and it was really, really, like, that was a massive turning point in my life. Do you know what I mean? Because I felt like all my security, all my expectations were just like question mark now. You know, you're thinking, hang on a minute, if my mum and dad can't make it, do you know what I mean? What's the chance of me making it? Because at that point, don't forget, my parents, our parents, everyone's parents have the most influence on us. So if the two people that you look up to the most for decisions, for example, are breaking up, it's a massive question mark. And obviously, yeah, it definitely impacted me. But again, it's not the end of the world, because it's not about the cards that you dealt, it's your response. So it's like, you get to learn from people's mistakes. The problem where most people go wrong is that things like that happen, and they just become a victim then. And whoever they're with has to unfortunately deal with that. And if they do negative things that disrespect the other person, I don't think there's ever an excuse for disrespect. I think it's an emotional thing.
Do you think, say somebody had the experience you had, and then there's somebody that had the experience I had, do you think it's harder for someone that had the experience you had to then go on to have a happy marriage?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like, you know, that's like saying if there was a family that they ran marathons together every year, the mum and dad, would it be more likely for the children to get into health and fitness? Of course, rather than the parents eating pizza every week and just you know being, you know, so yeah, of course. Same with making money.
Yeah.
High self-esteem and making money is the same thing. If your parents are struggling financially the whole life, and you see that, most people just fall into that exact same paradigm, unless you go, do you know what? I think I can do something different, and then that's a constant, daily. Because you're programmed, man. I didn't get into this information until I was 27 years old, so I've got 27 years of programming. I'm now 8 years into the journey. What does that tell you? Who would win in a fight? A 27-year-old or an 8-year-old? A 27-year-old. What does that mean? I still to this day cannot even slightly become complacent, go off my urges, go off what I want to do, because what I want to do is the reason why that has happened in previous. I have to consciously think about every single thought, word, action, and commit myself to growth.
So that's such an important point, because I think a lot of people will think 8 years in, whoa, you must be like so far ahead and he's been doing it for so long. But firstly, when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It feels like literally you're just getting started.
Right.
And I know it's a little bit of a running joke when we talk about, you know, what the next step is, and we're always like, we're just getting started. But
just getting started.
it honestly
We
feels,
actually are.
It honestly feels like that.
But we're actually going to have a champagne tonight because we're celebrating like we're just getting started.
But this is also a little ritual that we have as well, and it I can't remember where I read it. It was a Japanese situation, and they celebrate before they go off to achieve something. So they pre-celebrate, meaning that they already accept that they're going to happen, but they obviously put in the actions to actually be able to take them to
that celebration's not enough. Do you know what I mean? You don't just wake up tomorrow, well, we celebrate. So
can't just celebrate and then just go back to what you're doing beforehand.
Yeah, so like I say, it's a daily thing. Like, and the thing is about personal development is that the more you know you don't know, because we're drawing off an infinite supply. So once you get on the train, you can't really get off it. It's a blessing and a curse, really. It's like a double-edged sword. You know, and it's tough. I love what John Maxwell said. He said, you think you do the hard thing so things can get easy, but what you realise about growth is that you do the hard thing and things get harder. But you get better at responding, at actually solving problems, because the biggest blessing of solving a problem is actually the next problem.
Right.
Just saw some movement. We're missing one of our cats.
Yeah, we're on the eye out. She may well be in the hedge, so she may make another appearance. But I also love the story of a gentleman had 2 twins, but the gentleman unfortunately was an alcoholic, and then he became homeless, and he had these 2 twin boys. One boy followed the exact same path as his dad, was broke, wasn't able to earn any money, didn't have the mindset for it, became an alcoholic, got into drugs. However, the other twin then set up his own business, became very successful, was very healthy, and lived a very happy life. Now, they were twins from the exact same dad. So this is not to say that even if you are dealt what you may think is a bad card.
Well, they got interviewed, didn't they? And they said, "Why are you like this?"
Yeah.
Because my dad was like this.
Yeah. So why did you? So if you put yourself in the mindset of the one who was like a drug addict, why are you like this? Well, because my dad was a drug addict. And then it goes to the successful twin.
Why are you like this?
Why are you like this? Because my dad was a drug addict.
Right.
So even if the point I'm making is, even if you feel that you've been dealt a bad card in life,
no one cares.
You can still but I mean, there's some truth to that, because you have to decide to make your life successful.
The second you decide and understand that nobody does care, the better.
Yeah, because then you can go off and do what you actually want to do.
Literally, no one cares at all. Like, no one. No one wakes up thinking about your problems. 0 people. So what does that tell you? Well, go and figure it out, man. If it's to be, it's up to me. I will until. I got a question for you.
Go on.
What do you think is one of the hardest conversations a couple can have that most couples genuinely struggle with?
What's the hardest conversation?
And why? This could take us off subject, by the way, but like, I want you to tell the truth off you, because like Charlie was like, I want to prepare the answers. No, I think it's best to go off the cuff. Boom.
Given our experience of the situations we've been aware of and people that we've spoken to and questions that we get asked, it often comes down to what people want sexually. So without going into the whole topic all again, it's...
Okay, that's a good answer. Why? So what people want sexually? What each couple...
why is it a hard topic?
Well, first of all, so I said, what's the conversation most people struggle with? And you just said what they want sexually. Perfect. Why is that, number one, the most difficult, and number two, the most important way, maybe, from our experience?
I feel like it's the most difficult for a woman, because she's seen to not really like be able to maybe be adventurous. Like a woman is supposed to be a woman, not really have necessarily sexual desires. Certainly if they're a bit adventurous, like it's almost seen as like a bad thing.
Right.
Or if they're seen as promiscuous, or...
Which ironically, most men are attracted to that.
Right, if it's with them and one person.
Correct. But you know what I'm saying? Like, because most men, let's say if they go behind their partner's back or something, it's because they're seeking that adventure, they're seeking that thrill.
Right. And and it's often the man's, I think, trickiest topic, because, well, maybe you can answer it. Maybe they don't feel that, well, maybe they feel that what they want is maybe like their partner doesn't want to do it, or maybe they think they're gross, or...
Yeah. It's like, a lot of men think, like you saw, well, she's one to take home to the mom. And she's never going to meet the mom, that one.
Right.
So it's like, one's marriage material, one's not. Well, what does that mean? Well, this one's like crazy in the bedroom, and this one's like, really good at home, and da-da-da. Well, right. So what happens after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years down the line, when all of a sudden, these desires start to build up? It's like, and that's the thing, isn't it? So it's like, I think it's tricky, but it's the same as like talking about, you're either going to be successful financially or in a relationship, or you can have the body but you can't have the bank. So it's like, no, you can actually have it all. You just have to make sure that you're, number one, respectful. Like for me, it was like, I had so much love and respect for you, and like, I didn't want to feel like you looked at me a certain way, or do you know what I mean? Like,
and I think it's also a difficult topic to talk with your partner about, because you almost feel like as soon as you talk about it, they're then going to have this image of you in their head.
Well, I think it opens up many doors, and it opens up conversations about the past, opens up conversations about what you liked, what you didn't like, You've done that with this person, so why, you know, and you're not want to do that with me. It opens up so many awkward conversations, which is why I think most people don't want to have it. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's extremely important to have, because you could be preventing an affair ultimately.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because if you're not talking about what you really want, you're going to suppress that. So unless you've consciously made a decision of, right, I've accepted that, I'm never going to get that for the rest of my life.
And
Unless
you
you've
may
100%
think,
accepted it,
and
then
you may
it's going to
think,
come out.
yeah, you may think that you know, you have a good sex life right now. Double check though. I'll double check.
What do you mean double check though?
I'd ask the question.
What they actually want?
I'd ask the question. I'd ask the question, like, you know, just check in, you know, obviously don't just do it right in a random situation, like, you know, walking around Tesco or something. You know, make sure the settings are right and be like, you know, so just wondered, like, genuinely, do you feel fully satisfied with me? Are there anything that is there anything that you'd like to try out with me? Is there anything that you'd like me to do? Because
and they may say no initially.
Yes.
But then actually the fact that you've asked the question,
it will
gets
be
them
ticking,
thinking.
but you make them feel at comfort by saying, I just want you to know that I'm never going to judge you. I am that person that you can be open with, and I really, really hope sincerely that you feel that way. You feel that way about me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's important to put their mind at ease. And like you say, you might not be that day, but that will plant a seed, and eventually, yeah, do you know what? I've been thinking about that conversation with the day, and there is this, and this, you know. And it's not nice, man. It's not easy. It's not easy. These are not easy conversations to have, for sure. Got another question for you. So, was there any doubts about me and if I could be your husband?
You want me to share that now?
Just took that one in at the end. I actually took that one out while he's talking.
Ultimately, no. The only thing I think I ever had was actually at the very start, and we'd like literally just started dating. Well, I say we'd literally just started dating. Maybe it'd been like a month or two. And at the time I was down in London, you were up in Birmingham. And I was starting to question, like, why is he not asking me up to his place? Like, I know it's great coming down to London. London's a fun place and blah, blah, blah. But
Birmingham,
I was like, I need to stop making excuses for that, because like, so, but then my mind started to spiral a little bit and was like, what if he's got this whole other life? What if he's got another girlfriend or like kids up there that he's not telling me about, or he doesn't want to tell me about yet? And then you did ask me up there. And when I came round to your place, then I was like, oh, this is the reason why. And for those of you that haven't heard Jake's whole story or have heard this before, I walked into his apartment and there was no sofa. There was literally nothing in the living room other than 2 cat bowls. He did have 2 cats. They weren't just random 2 cat bowls. And there was there was a spare room with nothing in it. And then the bedroom, there was literally just a mattress on the floor. That was it. And obviously then I realised why. So, but that was the only time.
And I got so much love and respect for Charlie, because any woman in her right mind would see that and run. You know, I'd think. But again,
I'd got to know you.
You saw my vision of where I was going.
Yeah.
And I was at a point in my life where I didn't really, as long as I had a place to sleep, I didn't really care, because I didn't spend too much time there. I was just like building my business. But it just goes to show, like, you know, now look what's happened, you know, because of your belief in me. You believed in me. Yeah,
and that's a huge thing for a partner to do for their partner, but you do need to do it. Like, for a wife to believe in their husband is one of the most important things that you can do. Because whether you believe it or not, you're their number one person. So if you're their number one fan and their number one supporter, that's going to really boost their ego because they want to impress you.
Yeah. Amazing. Fair enough. Do you have any questions for me, or
Well, I can ask you the same question.
did you have any doubts?
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting this question.
That's why I asked it.
It wasn't any doubts about you, it was doubts about me because of the program.
Interesting.
So
What do you mean?
I was like, this lady's great. I know I can trust her. She's very honest.
Do you mean your upbringing?
Yeah.
When you say program?
Oh, yeah. Because, you know, she's courageous. I really admired you for that. And I had like imposter syndrome.
Right.
I didn't think I was worthy of... I mean, look at my situation, guys. She just explained where I was living, how I was living. I didn't think I was worthy. And by the way, we was going to London in this really nice place. It was taking me to all these nice restaurants. Your mum and dad's £1 million home. And I'm a little old Jake over here is sharing a tin of tuna with his cat. So it's, let's put two and two together. I was thinking, like, and the thing is this, I didn't want to ruin your journey of success. Because I was at a point where, like, relationships were not my main priority at that point, to be honest. It was, I need to sort my fucking situation out. Because it's a shit situation. And I didn't want you to enter my world of, like, I'm figuring it out, man. So, like, I'm not even too sure if I'm good, if I'm any good for you right now. So it was never doubts about you. It was always doubts about my ability. And those doubts, I don't think they ever go away, really. Like, when I sat with the pastor today, so Jake, what are your biggest concerns? What are your biggest worries and doubts? Being a husband.
But then they turn into the drive to continue to improve, don't they? But I saw you then like I see you now. So someone asked me recently, or they actually didn't ask me a question. They said, I'm going to stop falling in love with someone's potential. And it's a good thing to bear in mind. So if you are, say you're dating someone and you do see their potential so much more than they are currently, but if they're not doing anything about it, then that's the point where either they're not growing, they're not, I don't know, going to the gym more or putting time into their own personal growth. Or
if you see them healthier, in good shape, but they're not working out and eating healthy, there's a disconnect.
Right.
If you see them wealthy, living a life of freedom, but they're not building their business.
Exactly.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you can see potential in someone, but if they're not doing anything about it, then that potential is never going to happen.
Correct.
There's a big difference there. Whereas you were actively, looking into building your business, you were actually taking action into it. You were doing events every day. I was driving up to go to the events. We would go to events together. You would travel down to London to go to events together. So there was so much you were putting in to building actually your own business that's why I could then see you in that.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Position.
That's an important subject. Let me just check the camera's still rolling. Bear with. We're good. Sorry about that, guys. Just my intuition told me to check it. I think it's a good thing to point out that I think the main thing, if people want to find a successful relationship, is setting themselves a goal and committing to it, creating a vision and going after it. Because I think the right relationships and the most successful relationships are people that grow together. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you put a potato in a dark room with a light, it'll grow towards the light. And progress equals happiness. So if you're not progressing, you're not happy.
Yeah.
So if you want a happy relationship, you need a growing relationship. Now, growing is is two separate people growing together. So if you want a successful, happy relationship, don't look for a successful, happy relationship. Create a vision of your best self, happy, healthy, wealthy, if that's what you want, and start moving towards that vision, regardless of actually what's happening. And I believe you will attract another moving partner that's actually going to help you achieve that.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, that's what God wants us to do. I think by you doing that and showing faith, which is action towards a vision, faith is believing in something you can't see. That's what faith is. It's believing in something you can't see. It's the same definition of fear, believing in something you can't see. But fear paralyzes you, faith energizes you. So faith is when you're moving towards something you can't see, God goes, that's a faithful person. That person believes that he was or she was created in my image. She's actually applying the truth right now. Here's assistance in a partner.
Yeah.
That's how I think it happens. But that's from my experience, how it happened. Never set a goal. Absolute whirlwind of crazy stuff. The second I set myself a goal, boom, met the right person.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm just talking for evidence here.
Yeah.
But a goal that I'm actually serious about. And that's the key difference. I see people set goals. Amazing, man. See, you went perfect. How many people you talked to today? 0. It's not a goal.
Well, yeah, by serious, you mean like actually taking action.
It's not a goal.
Towards
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You'll know how serious you are. And I think I've said this before. You'll know you've made the decision when your feet are actually moving towards it. When you're taking action towards it. Otherwise, it's not.
Just get lost in it, man. Move. And the universe will move. You take a step, God takes a step. I heard John Maxwell this morning when I was studying. He said, you have a little shovel of faith, God's got a dump truck. Your little shovel from Toys R Us, he said, God's got a dump truck. So what you do, God will multiply.
Right.
You take one, God takes 10. I think that's super important, man. I think it's been a good episode. High five. Just the start. God bless. Guys, listen. As always, please like, comment, share this with people that you think can take value from it. We've got something really exciting coming. I want you to check the bio, and we're really excited to be on this journey with you all. All right, cool. Let's go.
See you soon.